Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we studied about the treatment of subscriptions and consumable items in income and expenditure account. Now that we have studied all the items related to income and expenditure account, let's start preparing the income and expenditure account through receipts and payments account given. Now, we will solve a question number 44, in order to understand this. And it is given on page 1.69 of T.S. Grewal, Double Entry Bookkeeping, Volume 1. Now, this question states that from following receipts and payments account of Jaipur Sports Club, we need to prepare income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2020. Now, let's observe the items. First one is to balance brought down. Now, this is the amount of cash available with us in the beginning of the year, hence it needs to be transferred to balance sheet asset side of the previous year. Now, the second item is entrance fees. Now, if you observe, entrance fees is given in two parts for 2018-19 and 2019-20. This means that 10,000 received during the year belongs to the previous year and 50,000 received during the year belongs to the current year, which is 2019-20. Now that we record only the items belonging to the current year in income and expenditure account, so while recording this particular item, we will be recording only the amount that belongs to the current year. Now, this is the format of income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2020. On the income side, we will write by entrance fees and the amount will be 50,000 because it is for the current year. Now we see the next item, that is subscriptions. Now under subscription, the amount is given in three parts. 2018-19, that is previous year, 2019-20, current year, 2020-21 for the next year. Now, since these two amounts, 10,000 and 5,000, these two do not belong to the current year, hence they will not be recorded in income and expenditure account, while this amount belongs to the current year. So this shall be recorded. But there is one hidden adjustment mentioned here, that is 90%, which means that 90,000 is the 90% of the subscriptions which was supposed to be received during the year. So if this is 90% of the subscription to be received this year, this means that 10% of the subscription is still outstanding. So in order to solve this, 90% of, let's say, X is the amount of subscription for the year is equal to 90,000, which means that X will be 90,000 into 100 divided by 90, that is 1 lakh rupees. Which means that this year we are supposed to receive 1 lakh rupees as subscription, out of which we have received only 90,000 and 10,000 is the outstanding amount. Alright. Now we see the next item, that is life membership fees. As we know that life membership fee is a capital receipt for the firm, it should not be recorded in the income and expenditure account. Now we come to the next item, that is donations. Donations 1,20,000. Since there is no condition of usage specified here, this means that it is a general donation, and general donations are recorded in income and expenditure account, and the amount is 1,20,000. Now the next two items, donations for tournament and subscriptions for governor's party. These two items are of capital in nature, hence since the usage is mentioned already, thus it means that it needs to be shown in the balance sheet under the liability side. Now we come to interest on 8% fixed deposit. Now this has been received 2,400, so let's mention interest on 8% deposit is 2,400. And if you observe this item here, 8% fixed deposit is 1,20,000, which is made on 1st October 2019, which means that the due amount on this particular fixed deposit is 4,800 rupees. Let's see how it is calculated. 1,20,000, rate of interest is 8%, and the duration is 6 months from October till 31st March. So when we calculate this, it will be 4,800. which means that in this year we were supposed to receive 4800 while we have received only 2400, which means that this 2400 amount is the accrued interest. That means it is our asset. We were supposed to receive it, but we haven't. So we will add it here and it will be shown on the asset side of balance sheet. Now we come to the next item, that is sale of old newspapers. Now it is a revenue receipt for the firm. Thus needs to be written in the credit side. Then the next item is sale of old sports material 500, book value of which is 1200. Now, sports material belonging to the asset has a value of 1200, has been sold for 500, which means that the proceeds is less than the book value, which means that we have incurred a loss on sale of old sports material, and the loss shall be debited to income and expenditure account 700, 1200 minus 500. And the 1200 amount of book value of the old sports material will be deducted from the asset in the balance sheet. Now we come to the next item, that is lockers rent 6800. It mentions here including 600 for 2018-19, which belongs to the previous year. Thus this amount needs to be deducted from this particular amount as it doesn't belong to the current year. So now from 6800 we will reduce the amount for the previous year, or you can write outstanding for 2018-19, amount 600. So 6200 will be written here. Then we come to the payment side. Rent 60,000 including 15,000 for 2018-19. Again this is an outstanding amount for the previous year. This needs to be deducted from this said amount. So here we will write 60,000 minus the outstanding amount, that is 15,000. 45,000 will belong to the current year. Next is insurance premium 60,000. 15,000 belonging to 2020-21. It is prepaid amount and it does not belong to the current year, it belongs to the next year. Thus again here 60,000 minus 15,000, again 45,000 will belong to the current year. Then let's see the next item, that is sports equipment. As we know that it is an asset for the firm, so it will not be recorded in income and expenditure account, it will go to balance sheet. Furniture, again an asset for us, it will go to balance sheet. 8% fixed deposit, again an asset for us, it will go to balance sheet. Tournament expenses. Now if you see, tournament donations are given here. When specific donations are given, any expenses related to that will be deducted from that particular donation in the balance sheet. Now books, again an asset for us, will go to balance sheet. Then newspapers 1000 rupees, it will be debited to income and expenditure account. Next we see printing and stationery, again it is a regular expense, so it will be debited to income and expenditure account. On solving this particular account, we will get the surplus when income is greater than the amount of expenditure. By adding all of these items and deducting the amount of expenditure incurred during the year, we will be able to calculate the surplus as 1,70,600. Thank you.